It was the craziest experience. Hello guys, welcome to another video, and welcome to those who are just coming across my channel. Hi, my name is Sadia. Welcome to my life, my very beautiful and perfect life. In today's video, my labor and delivery story time. And how I view my story is kind of like, oh my God, girl. It's not like the stories that I saw before, I went into labor, and it was like a sweet story, things kind of go as planned for them and everything. Well, that was the complete opposite for me, okay? And so we're gonna get into the story time. February 28th, 8 in the morning. And I wake up, I was feeling good, real energized. But as I stood up, I felt like kind of like a leak. And it's normal to discharge while you're pregnant. And it's especially normal to be discharging when you're closer to giving birth, right? So it was a feeling that I was kind of used to by now. But the leak felt a little longer than usual. Like, not enough to where I felt like I peed on myself, but enough to feel like, oh, that's different. I had the energy to do so much still. Like, mind you, by this point, like, I was a week away from my due date, my actual due date. And I had so much energy. Like, yeah, I could barely walk. I felt real heavy. My back was hurting like crazy. But that day, I just felt the urge to do stuff. Prepared dinner early that day. I cleaned up my house a bit. And then I went to go visit my parents at their house. And I was there for a bit. We ate, we laughed, we talked. And before I was leaving, I remember sitting in the kitchen. I'm like, Mom, my back really hurt. Now, my back hurt majority of my pregnancy. Back hurts, but it's kind of like your upper back. When I was sitting in that chair, it was like my lower back, a real like sharp pain in my lower back. But I'm just like, oh man, I should go home. My back really hurt. I come back to my house, and like I said, I was prepping for dinner in the morning, right? So when I get back home, I cook a whole meal. I even forgot about the back pain. Dinner was served, we eat and everything, but I just had to go to the bathroom because in my mind, the fact that I leaked in the morning was still in my head. Like, it's kind of like, yo, like, that really happened to me. I hope everything's okay. So throughout that day, every time I went to the bathroom, I was checking. So close to giving birth, they tell you to check when you wipe. To see if you see anything different. So you might see blood, you might see pink, you might see like a mucus texture. Sorry if this is graphic. If you can't handle it, I'm sorry, but this is my story, so it's gonna be graphic because I love giving details. So now, after I cooked, after I had a whole eventful day of doing things and everything, I go to the bathroom and I wipe. Your girl saw pink on that tissue. And I'm just like, oh, I think I'm going into labor, right? I tell myself that. Then I come out. My boyfriend and his friends are out here. I came out the bathroom saying that, like, of course, cancer stuff was back on. But I'm just like, guys, I think I'm in labor. So the whole room stops, like, what? Are you serious? How you know? Whatever. I was like, well, and I had to tell them what I just told you guys. Everybody's just stuck looking, and I'm just like, okay, well, y'all can stay looking like that. I'm gonna call my father or my mom and tell them, like, this is what's happening. So I call my parents. My father picks up the phone. I tell him, like, Dad, I think I'm going into labor. My father's like, are you sure? Are you okay? And everything. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just that when I wiped, I saw like pink. So that means that it's time to go to the hospital and check everything out. So I had my hospital bag ready, which is very important. Like, have your hospital bag ready. I had everybody telling me multiple times, Sadia, get your bag ready, get your bag ready. And now I see why, because you just never know when it's gonna happen. So I had my bag ready and we get into the car. We're driving, and now like I'm kind of starting to feel cramping while we're in the car. And it wasn't crazy like, oh my god, I'm in pain. It does feel like period cramps. Like, it really does. It feels like period cramps plus like slight pressure at first. Like, when I started feeling it, it was like cramps but with a little pressure. And I initially have really bad cramps, so it wasn't nothing like new. It was so crazy because like, as I'm feeling this pain and everybody knows that I might be going into labor or most likely am in labor, like the road was so damn bumpy. And it was annoying. Just breathe through whatever like cramp or I guess contraction that was coming. And you know, I was fine. It was just like, yeah, I'm fine. My mom was all nervous. Like, Sadia, you okay? You okay? You okay? You like, I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. Like, let's just calm down, okay? I'm trying to be calm. I'm breathing through. We'll get through this. We get to the hospital, even know where to go. Like, we looking around for the place where you're supposed to go to when you feel like you're in labor and stuff like that. I don't know what you call the unit, but I'm looking for it, and it's all the way in the cut. So we're walking good. I'm not in pain, but at this point I'm like nervous in a sense, because it's like I finally made it to the hospital. Like, this is actually really, it might be happening. So I get there, and then we had to do paperwork. Bro, all I want to know is, you know, if I'm okay or not. But I had to get paperwork done. So I guess it's just hospital policy. Like, you know, you have to fill out your paperwork and everything should be done just in case you are going into labor. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about all that stuff because that paperwork is done already. They send me in, and, you know, there's 2 people in the front desk who you have to tell them, like, how do you know that you're going into labor? So I explained the story to them. Yet again, you're going to be explaining the story quite a lot. Once I told them the story, they were like, oh yeah, your water definitely broke. So they send me into a room, you know, to take off my bottoms and, you know, put on something, and so they could check me. You're gonna get checked a lot. Don't think that it's only your OB or GYN. By that point, I knew that it was gonna be like 15 to 25 people checking for JJ, for my baby to be coming or whatever. They just gotta be checking up in there. You're gonna have different people checking up in there. So yeah, this lady comes in. She was really nice. She was explaining everything. She you know, was just made me feel really welcome. One of the other nurses that was there, like, she was just like, oh, are you nervous? And I'm like, kinda. She's like, girl, don't be. You'll be fine. It's okay. If anything, you know, you have a bunch of nurses that are here to help you, and it made me feel comfortable. The nurse comes and she checks me, and she's like, oh yeah, your water definitely ruptured. Your water sac definitely ruptured. So you're going to be admitted. And it was just like, I looked over to my boyfriend. I was just like, oh shoot, like, this is really happening. Now I'm about to go into a different room. So now I had to strip completely, put on a gown, and they put me onto one of those beds and rolled me into another room. By this point, I was with both my boyfriend and my mom. And, you know, things was just going fine. The nurse that I had just came from seeing was telling me that she was going to call my doctor and ask if they could put me on Pitocin. Pitocin is a chemical that they inject into your body to speed up your contractions. So, of course, you need your doctor to clear this. When I get into this room that they have me in, it's not like a room by myself. It's just like it's kind of like a waiting room. They wait for you to like go through the labor process until it's time for you to deliver. So it wasn't like I was in a delivery room like I saw people in videos. Like, the videos I was watching, women were already in their own little rooms going through labor and stuff until it was time. For me, they put me into like this waiting room and just monitoring my contractions and everything to see if everything's okay. And they started hooking me to machines and all that. And then now this is another nurse of this unit This time she's asking me about the stuff that they're about to, you know, plug me up to. So like the machines, the IV, all these other stuff that they're going to inject into me. So she comes to me and she tells me like, oh, okay, do you have any allergies? And it's very important that your nurses come to you and ask you all these questions and even inform you on what they're going to do to you, like as they're doing stuff. Because I want to know everything. Like, tell me every pain is starting. So I hear her say, okay, it seems like, you know, your contractions they're fine and everything, but I'm going to put in the Pitocin. So it's just like, okay, like I'm just saying okay, because the pain is coming. It's coming, boy. That pain is no joke. It's really no joke. Like, I understand why people could not explain what the pain felt like whenever I asked them, because I'm somebody who likes to prepare, right? So when I hear stories, I feel like, okay, if this is what's going to happen to me, whatever, but nobody would tell me what that pain would feel like. And I can't even explain to you, like, just know it makes you want to freaking, like, turn into She-Hulk. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I had to breathe through. The Pitocin is kicking in. The contractions are hitting way harder. The pain is getting more intense. You know, I had my mom and my boyfriend at my side, like I said, to like calm me down at times. They took turns calming me down because, again, it was like the middle of the night by now. Like, it was probably like 12. Yeah, it was probably like midnight or 1 in the morning when this happened. Yeah, so they're calming me down and everything. You know, I'm breathing through. Like, I had a bunch of nurses checking on me, and they were just like, wow, like, you're doing really good. Like, for this to be your first baby, like, you're doing really good with your breathing. Just keep it up and you'll get through it. After a while, I had one nurse come to me. They do inform you when they're students or, you know, or not. So by or not, I mean like they're an actual nurse or doctor in the hospital, but if they're a student, they come tell you. And so they also ask for permission, like, do you mind if I check you or whatever? I ain't care, because I was in pain, and it's just like, if you're gonna be the one to tell me my baby's coming like closer, then just go ahead, do what you gotta do. You don't care. You do not care. I didn't care. Let me not say you do not care. But they check, and they check to see how dilated you are, so people gonna be up in there. And she was just like, okay, you're 2 centimeters dilated. Because when I got admitted, I was only a centimeter. I wasn't even open at all. So I was just a centimeter. She told me 2 centimeters. So as the pain is increasing, I only hear that I dilated 1 centimeter. And I have, like, you're supposed to be 10 centimeters dilated before, you know, you can push out. So time went past, the pain is kicking in, like, and I knew because I'm breathing harder and harder. But then I feel like, you know, my stomach is bugging, right? Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I had to go. Mom is telling me, like, you sure? You sure? I'm like, Ma, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm not about to sit here and, you know, dirty myself. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And so the nurse even asked, like, are you sure? Are you sure? Does it feel like pressure? Does it feel like you just have to go? I'm like, nah, it just feels like I have to go to the bathroom. So they unhooked me off the machines and everything. I had to walk with it. Like, they just unplugged the machines, but I had to walk with it, and I used the bathroom. When I say the contractions hit while I was in the, bro, it's just a lot goes on. A lot goes on, and you can't even feel bad for yourself. Like, in that very moment, all you think about is you and your child. It's either you about to weep and whine because of the pain, or you gonna thug it out and just do what you gotta do to make sure you and your baby are fine. So I had to grip onto the sink. I'm done though. Wash my hands, everything, like I ain't nasty. But I had to grip onto the sink when this contraction hit. And I took the deepest breath of my life, because I wasn't laying down. Like, it's, you they normally say it's easier to handle the pain when you're standing up, but I guess because I don't know, like, at that moment that contraction hit really bad, so I just wanted to get back to laying down. Now this is another student coming to see me. It's not the same student, and she's like, can I check you and everything? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. She checks me. She's like, okay, she's 4 centimeters dilated. You're doing really well with the breathing. Yeah, I'm just doing the best that I can. I'm all out of breath because I'm, you know, breathing too much and everything, but it's just like, whatever. Thank you. Some time went past now, and again, I can't keep track. I can't even tell you the timing of it, but I know it's like morning time now. I hear the nurse calling someone like, is there any word from her doctor yet? Because she's been here for a long time now. Her pain is increasing, like it's intense and everything. We got to get her into a delivery room. They finally moved me to a delivery room, and it was crazy because I'm just rolling on the bed. To get to the delivery room, I'm looking at everything. I see doctors looking at me. I see people at the front desk looking at me. I don't even care. I'm in pain, but they put me in this room. Now, I feel a little better once I get in the room because we're all just amazed at how the room looked. It was so nice and well put together. To the right of me was where the baby station was, and it was so nice. Like, they had little shampoos, little lotions, diapers, wipes, and everything just prepared for when the baby came. So when I saw that, it was like, I don't even know. Like, it was kind of like, Sadia, like, you gotta pull through. Like, you almost there. Like, look, like, you've made it to this part. You just gotta keep pushing till he's here. Like, and unfortunately, things were just not getting better. Like, the pain, all I could think about is the pain. Like, I'm even gripping the seat right now because it was just a lot. Like, I remember getting up to use the bathroom yet again. You know, like, you have to go to the bathroom. Hours are passing. Like, it's not like you don't use the bathroom at all. And my mom's just like, just go ahead, because they prepare it for you to, like, use the bathroom on yourself and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get up and use the bathroom. And so I had to have both of them, both my boyfriend and my mom, walk me to the bathroom because the pain was just so intense. I used the bathroom, came out, and it was one point where I couldn't even sit down no more. Contractions just kept coming, but it hurt so much. I cannot breathe, and it's just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this natural anymore. Like, I need drugs at this point. Like, somebody just give me that epidural, give me something, because I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm fighting for my life. Oh, then a nurse comes in and she's checking the chart and everything, and she was just like, oh, wait a minute, like, something's not right here. And so we're all looking like, what do you mean something's not right? And then she's just like, they put you on Pitocin, but your doctor didn't clear for you to have Pitocin. What? I'm just like, okay, but like, is everything okay? Like, is the baby fine at least? Like, are you telling me this because it's bothering the baby, or like what? And they're just like, oh yeah, but you're doing really fine. Your contractions are fine. The baby is okay. Your doctor will be here soon. So we're just gonna have, you know, like, someone check on you to see how dilated you are. I just couldn't with the pain at this point. Like, I couldn't. All I remember is crying. Like, I'm crying. And I just felt disappointed in a way because I wanted to, you know, go natural. Like, I didn't want to do the drugs, and I could not. Like, I was literally fighting for my life, trying to breathe through that pain. It was so severe that I just couldn't. My mom or my boyfriend would offer for me to hold their hand, and it was just like, I was saying I'm sorry every time I had to squeeze it, because I felt like I was taking out anger on somebody because I was just in so much pain. And they were like, you don't have to apologize. Like, you're about to bring life into the world. Like, why are you apologizing? I'm just like, because I'm hurting you. Like, this is just who I am. Like, as aggy and rude sometimes that I can be, like, I'm still a major sweetheart. Like, I'm just all heart and love. Like, I don't want to be hurting people, but, you know, I had no choice. I was in pain. I'm ready for that epidural. So they come in, do the epidural. Now, like I said, this is my life. This is my story, and nothing goes right. But eventually it does. Now, the nurses for the epidural, I had to wait for. So I had to wait. I think I waited like another hour, or maybe it was 30 minutes, but I waited like a good amount of time while being in pain. I'm still pushing through. My mom's like, just breathe, try to sleep. Could not sleep at all because the pain would just come and come, and all I could do was ask for water. I think it was water. Could I have water, or was it ice chips? I think it was water. I would take little sips though, like sips of water. It would help me, and then I would breathe. I would get back to breathing. They finally came in to do the epidural, and it turns out as they're putting in the epidural that my spine isn't like aligned. Like, it might have scoliosis. because my spine isn't straight. Like, you have to sit very straight so that they know where to hit, and they hit at the bottom. They poked me up so many times trying to get that big needle through, and it was just a lot. Yes, they do wait in between contractions, so the nurses are so nice, and they encourage you, they compliment you, just make sure you're feeling good while all this is happening, because it's not easy. The nurse will ask, you know, if there's a contraction coming, let us know so we can stop and let it go through. I'll help you breathe. Like, you know, the nurse, she let me hold on to her, breathe through, you know, squeeze as tight as I could to let the contraction go. And then I told them, okay, you know, I'm back. Like, let's put this thing in me. So then they were telling me, like, you know, you have to sit straight. Like, they had me sitting on a pillow, maybe, if it helped me align my back, because I already have great posture. So I figured that would be the problem, but they were like, we could just get it, just lean a certain way. So they poked me up maybe like I want to say like 4 or 5 times, bro, just to get that needle in perfectly, just to numb me out. And it hurts. Like, it hurts when they're putting that needle in. Like, people tell me, like, no, it's one time or whatever, and I could see what they were talking about, but because they had to keep poking me to make sure they got it into the right spot, after a while it was hurting. At this point, I'm just like, why me? Like, why am I going through this right now? Like, can I just give birth to my son and get out of here? Because it was just pain after pain, error after error. Like, nothing was going right. So they finally got the epidural in, and it felt like a relief. Thankfully, it was just like, oof, like, okay, like, I could lay down, I could finally sleep. They show you how to use a button that they give you so that you refill the medicine. So, like, the medicine really only lasts, I want to say, about 20 minutes. And after those 20 minutes, you got to press it again. I paced myself every time I was going to hit for more. My actual doctor, you know, called in and was saying he was on his way, but he sent in another doctor that he trusts to come check me. This doctor comes check me and everything, and he's like really checking, like, you know, checking me, like checking for the baby, everything, like, while he's in there. And he tells me, like, who told you that your water broke? Because your sac is still, like, it's closed. Like, you have a closed sac in there. And then he's talking to the nurse, like, who told her that, you know, that her water was broken? Grabbed like a ruler or something. He had to break my water for me. And it made sense, because it's just like, okay, the reason why the pain was so intense is because they put that Pitocin in me that I wasn't cleared for. And then my child, because the Pitocin was in, so like my contractions are speeding up because it's like pushing him forward, or like contracting my muscles to open up faster and pushing him down, but he has nowhere to go. Right? But they didn't put me back on Pitocin after they broke my water. The nurse was just saying, we're going to wait till your doctor comes in to see how everything is going. For now, we're just going to monitor the baby's heart rate and your contractions, and, you know, just hang in there. You're on the epidural now. If anything, like, just call for us. Cool. My doctor comes in and he's checking the charts or whatever for my contractions and everything, asking me how I'm feeling. And he was just like, yeah, so, you know, I'm sorry about the mishap. I already spoke to those nurses. They're not supposed to do that, but you're fine now, thankfully. And, you know, we're still monitoring. Cool. You know, I feel a little relieved. And then time goes by, he comes back, put me back on Pitocin once my doctor came in. And when he came back, he's just like, it seems that the baby isn't taking the Pitocin really well. Like, every time we put up the Pitocin, his heart rate is dropping. So something's not right, and we might have to do a C-section. Great. So I done been through a lot of pain. I was being put through things that I didn't have to be put through as yet. My water never fully broke. My baby was pretty much fighting for his life just as much as I was. I had to get an epidural, got stuck in the back like 5 times. And to hear that now his heart rate might be dropping and that they gotta cut me open to get him out. It was just a lot for me. At that point, I broke down. I started crying, because it was just like, why the F is this happening to me? I asked to see if they could monitor it a little more. And he did, you know, respectfully, but he came to me and told me, he was just like, you know, I'm gonna do that, but just to let you know, like, your water's been ruptured for hours now. Like, your body's going through a lot, and now the baby's going through a lot. So the best thing to do is consider the operation, to go through a C-section, because you know you don't want to risk his life, and you don't want to risk yours. And it's true, like, even though, you know, it was emotional, I didn't want to get cut open, but at this point it's literally life or death. Like, either I could be selfish or do what I have to do for my child's health and mine, so that we both make it out okay. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to dilate, you know, I wasn't able to dilate anymore, and my body was giving out. My baby couldn't anymore with the Pitocin, so I ended up getting a C-section. That was a whole nother process, because they were getting me ready now. They numbed me up even more. Like, when you're getting a C-section, obviously they cutting you open. They numb you up. Like, I was drugged up to the point where I remember just shaking. Like, I was just shaking, because I guess my nerves were just going through so much. Like, I'm just shaking at this point. Everything's going numb, and I'm shaking, scared because I'm getting cut open. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, like, if it's bringing my baby, my doctor's officially here, and I trust him. Like, I really trust my doctor, my OB. And he makes me, like, man up. It's just like, no, like, everything's fine. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I got you. So, yep, we go into the room. I see everything, and it's crazy, because I really remember being in the OR room too. All the doctors are suiting up. They're washing their hands. They're getting ready. It was like an episode of Grey's Anatomy, bro. Like, it was amazing, but at the same time, it was just a lot for me. Like, at this point, I was pretty much traumatized with everything that was going on. Me being me, I saw a little peak of positivity, and it was just like, wow, like, I feel like somebody that was on an episode of Grey's Anatomy. And I had to go in by myself, and it was scary. The only person that was allowed in there was the father of the child, my boyfriend. So, like, he couldn't go right in with me. They had to prepare me and prepare themselves before, you know, the procedure. They're preparing everything. They're still poking me up. They have this whole wall up, because you can't really see the procedure. Like, it's just you, all you see the most, I think, is like up to your chest, and everything else you can't see. Like, it's covered by a sheet. So they're poking me up and everything. I can't even see what's going on. I can't even really feel. All I felt was pressure. And then eventually I'm just like, okay, like, can my boyfriend come in, because I'm nervous now. Like, he comes in, he's calming me down, you know, like, just telling me, like, just to look at him, like, focus at him, to worry about nothing else. And all I remember was feeling pressure. Like, I thought I was going to be in pain, but I wasn't. I was numbed up. But all I felt was like a pressure on my stomach. Like, it felt like this, like, it didn't hurt. It just felt like pressure. And next thing I know, I heard crying. Oh my God, the baby is here. Like, he's here. Like, all this that I went through, like, it was a lot, but it was worth it, because my son is here and he's healthy. I literally started tearing, because it's like, you did it. Like, you really did it. Like, he's here. Everybody was just like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. Mind you, they all saw the baby before we did, because the sheet was up. And, you know, I guess they don't want you to see, like, what's going on with you. They didn't put me to sleep. I was awake the whole time. So I guess they give it time. They stitching me back up, fixing up my wound and everything, cleaning up the baby, checking his weight and everything. And then put him in our arms, and that was it. It was just like, wow, like, he's here. And to think that was 3 months ago is crazy. It's so crazy, because I remember it like it was last night. Like, it was just yesterday. And, you know, then came caring for myself after the C-section. But I could film that in another video if you guys want. I don't mind, because I kind of like telling my stories. So if you want to hear more about it, just, you know, put it in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to explain that to you. But just know that even though I went through all that, just like I go through everything else in my life, you know, there's always a positive that comes out of that stuff. And my son is here. He's healthy. I'm healthy. I'm still alive. I did have to go through a lot that I didn't want to go through, or even have to go through, listening to my story, but I did. And it took for me to go through that to get my son here, and I couldn't be more thankful for life after all that. It did put me in a different space mentally for a little while. But if you want to hear about that, just comment below and I'll be more than happy to share another video. But thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, subscribe so that you're aware of my videos being posted. Thank you for all the support so far. It means a lot to me. I'm just excited for how I'm growing already. Like, I really just sat through and told a whole story to a lot of you, and I didn't really share the story with even the closest people to me. So yeah, just thank you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Peace out.